What it is, what it do, it's your boy DJ NonStop, and this is Up Close and Personal with none other than me, DJ NonStop. Check it out. Today we have a great interview in store, and before we get that, let me give you a little bit of information about what Up Close and Personal with DJ NonStop is. This is a platform for all entrepreneurs, business owners, street activists, politicians, anybody that has a business or that has a passion that they want to get out and let everybody know about. This is the platform and the place to do it. So, getting back to why we are here. Today, we have an unprecedented interview scheduled for all of our viewers out here today. And we are here sitting with none other than Natalie Hayes. How are you doing today?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
I am doing just wonderful. So, I know the people want to know a little bit about who Natalie Hayes is. So, could you go ahead and give us a little bit of information about who you are?
Yes, of course. I'm Natalie Hayes, formerly Natalie Warner, for those who don't know.
Okay.
And I'm originally from Toledo, Ohio. I've been in Columbus area about almost 4 years, and I'm an aspiring chef, psalmist, and entrepreneur.
Oh, okay. Wonderful, wonderful. Now, you have so many facets underneath your belt, that is. Can you tell us which one that you prefer to do the most?
It's very, very hard to pick, and I'm telling you, it's been like back and forth about what I want to do. I love cooking just as much as I love singing. So,
okay.
Dually, I will have to tell you, it will have to be both, because I believe in feeding people spiritually and physically. So
okay.
They both work together.
That they do. That they do. Cooking, feeding people both spiritually and through their bellies. So that exactly. Hey, a lot of people try to do the two. Tell us how you succeed in that.
Well, how I succeeded in that is I've sang all my life. I've been singing since I was 3 years old. I didn't realize I was really called to do it, if you will, until God spoke to me and understood what it was I was to do with my gift and to give it back to Him. And cooking has always been a part of my fiber. My great aunt, her name was Garnita. She passed away about 14 years ago now.
Okay.
And it's been something that I always loved to do. I always stayed up under her. She was a caterer. So just the whole being creative and being able to create and, with song as well as food and prepare and watch people love what you eat, it's just been something I've always wanted to do. And so once she passed away, I felt urged and led to fulfill her legacy and to go ahead and be a chef.
That's wonderful. That is wonderful. So with her being your inspiration for cooking, how old were you when she actually introduced you to the art of cooking? Because some people, they just be getting introduced to it like right now.
Right, no. As early, she had us in the kitchen early. We always helped her out with every holiday. So as early as far as when I really knew what I was doing, when she trusted me to do things on my own, I was about 9 years old.
About 9?
Yes.
Now, how was that being 9 years old and being in the kitchen, cooking, recipes, different pots, different pans, having, the person's over top of you, just, trying to mold you to be a great cook. How was that experience and how do you look back on that?
It's, of course, now it's nostalgic, of course, and I think about every time I cook something, I think about what she would say, how to stir it, how to fix it, what to fold into it, and so I miss her every time I'm cooking something. So it was awesome just being able to be creative. She allowed me to, if I messed up the batch of cookies like I did before, put too much salt, she allowed me to learn from it. So she didn't really micromanage as much until she really felt that I needed her help.
Okay.
Because she trusted me and she trusted the fact that because I love to be creative, that I was able to do it. So it was an awesome experience.
That's wonderful. Now, what would you say would be your favorite dish when you was learning to cook and your favorite dish now that you are a chef entrepreneur?
Yes. Well, the very first time I mastered her homemade macaroni and cheese, that was when I knew. I knew what I was doing.
That sounds wonderful.
Not just one cheese, we're talking 4 and 5 cheeses. And homemade baked, not on the stove, but baked.
Right.
So that was the best thing that I made that she taught me how to make and I mastered. Now I would say, well, my husband would tell me to say, this is his favorite, is my soul sustenance, if you will, meatloaf.
Okay.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite things to make.
You're going to have to let me have a piece of taste of that. That sounds really good.
Yes.
Now, talking about, we're focusing on the cooking aspect at this moment.
Yeah.
So tell us, like, what are your passions? Like, what do you want to do with being a chef? Are you just, want to be a home chef, or do you want to, like, enter the workforce and, like, be a chef of a restaurant, or do you want to cultivate and then have your own thing?
I ultimately want to have my own food truck. So
Okay.
right now it's pretty much word of mouth and the different events that I have through connections that I have. So I do some private things like for families, meal prep, that type of thing. But mostly right now it's word of mouth catering. But I'm really working towards the goal of having my own food truck.
Okay. And do you have a name for your food truck?
Yes, it is Soulsa, Soulsa.
Okay. We're going to have to promote that for you.
Yes,
That
absolutely.
is wonderful. So, what would you say is the hardest thing about being a chef?
Well, I'm self-taught, so I want to say that first. So I didn't have any formal training. I mean, granted, my aunt was, she was self-taught as well. So everything I learned under her tutelage, learning to cook, I have, have other chefs that I've had encountered and had pointers from.
Okay.
So it's just about just getting in there and doing it, and not being afraid to try new things and try different recipes. So I have a Latin Caribbean influence.
okay.
That's my specialty, if you will. So a Southern comfort with a Latin Caribbean influence. I can do just about everything, but I pretty much stay in that sector. That's my forte.
No, that sounds really good. Like anything Latin Caribbean, I'm all about it.
Right.
So, with that being said, food truck. So many food trucks are popping up all over the city.
Very popular.
There is, a couple weeks ago, there was a food truck festival that was in Whitehall.
Yes.
A lot of vendors. So, being that you have the sole appeal to your cooking, how do you feel that will be able to transcend into the food truck industry, and do you think that you will be able to bring something new to it?
Yes, I mean, soul food has always been, it's nostalgia at its best. I mean, it takes you back to when your grandma was cooking, or your aunt, or whoever it was that was the cook of the family. So definitely the edge I have some healthier spins on some things. So it's not as heavy. It's on a lighter note, as well as the fact, because I am tying in, feeding you spiritually and physically, I want to be able to have a song. I want to have where I open up, where people look for me to open up and sing before I even serve you. So I want to bring appeal that way, and just being able for people to try what I have to offer.
Oh man, that's great. I mean, it looks like that you have the vision and the plan set in place to be, very successful in the food truck industry. Now, do you have a vehicle as of yet, or that something that is in the works?
It's in the works. Definitely in the works. It's a lot that goes in, a lot of red tape that goes into having a food truck. My husband and I are looking into areas I need to have a venue, because I have to be inspected and so forth. So that's why we're still pressing forward. But the ultimate goal, we're going to have it. So.
Most definitely. Now, tell us a little bit about your personal life. I know you're married. Do you have any children?
Yes. No, we don't have children together.
Okay.
I met Donnie, and it's just been awesome. He's my best friend.
That's great.
Not only my husband, he's my best friend and my #1 supporter, and I just love him very much. We don't have any children together. I have a son.
Okay.
He's 20. His name is Jalen. He's also, he wants to go into sports journalism, so he actually has a show right now that he does.
Nice.
Through the Ohio Media School. So
hi.
Score on air.
I'm a graduate of the Ohio Media School myself.
He's a co-host now there.
Oh, really? What's his name again? Last name?
His name is Jalen Lindsay, but
Okay.
he's actually a co-host with his friend Seth on Score on Air. It's called Speak Your Mind.
I have seen the show.
Yes,
that I have.
Yeah, he's very knowledgeable, so he'll give Stephen A. little run for his money.
Oh man,
Yeah.
We'll have to steer him over to WTMH Radio when he gets done with his show. Because a lot of people that go to the school, if they're not able to break into the industry, we give them the alternative to come and keep on enhancing their career with a show, build your followers and everything. So we'll have to definitely. I'll actually be out there this Thursday. They're having a big alumni
Yeah, he's going to be part
So
of the debate.
is he going to be the part of the debate?
Alumni.
Well,
Yeah.
I will be there, so he'll be. Well, I'll be looking for. I'll be like, hey, I know your mama.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So then I also, because I did lose my first husband.
Okay.
Tragically, suddenly, almost 5 years ago. So, and I moved back to this area. So I have 2 stepsons there because they're still close to me, Christopher and Kyle. And then I also have 3 great boys with Donnie, Caden, Donovan, and Cameron.
Okay.
So all boys.
All boys. Didn't get luck up and get a girl.
No. And we're done.
That's how it happens. No more?
No more.
Okay.
That's it.
I understand that. I ain't doing more either. Now, how do you balance the being a working mother, a chef, and also your singing career, which we're going to dig into a little bit later. But how do you combine all those things? And do you ever feel like it's sometimes overwhelming?
Now that you mention that, actually it has been something which I know we'll get into as well. Just being able to balance it has been a juggle for me, and it's now brought me to the forefront to be able to discuss some of the issues that I had in dealing with my walk and my purpose. Just being able to deal with the anxiety issues that I had, depressive disorder that I have, and being able to push through that and travail through that. So it has been challenging, but with God by my side and great support from family and friends, and being able to really confront that and get the help that I needed and use the resources available, I've been able to juggle it just fine. So I'm now full-time entrepreneur.
Oh, what's up? That's right.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So we're getting ready to go into a commercial break. But before we go into the commercial break, tell us something personal about you that no one would know. So if someone was to walk up to you on the street and be like, tell me something special about you, and they didn't want just the ordinary, rundown, like something that would be like, oh, I never would have guessed that.
Well, most people, believe it or not, they don't know that I cook the way that I do.
Okay.
So really, that is most people know me through the fact that I sing, and those closest to me know that I cook. But a lot of times when I say I make a meal or I'll do something, and it'll be like, I didn't know that you cook like that, or I would have never thought that. I just thought you sang. So that's really been the biggest catch for everybody.
Oh, okay. There it is. So, if you see her on the street, ask her to cook you a meal.
Right.
She'll be ready to, she's going to come out with hot plates and everything. Like, I'm ready to go. There you go. You're going to get a meal. You're going to get your spirit fed. So we're getting ready to step into a commercial break. And after the commercial break, we're going to come back and we're going to have some more in-depth conversation with Natalie Hayes. You are watching Up Close and Personal with DJ NonStop on WTMH Live. We're back in 3.
Tired of listening to the same old radio station? Has mainstream radio let you down? Looking for more variety in your listening experience? Then look no further. Your search stops here. You've just tuned in to the hottest station on the web, WTMHradio.com. No other station can give you what you want, how you want it, with state-of-the-art studios and green screen rooms. WTMH Radio is the clear-cut choice. So don't wait another second. Tune in now and listen. Your number one choice. WTMHradio.com and WTMHgospelradio.com.
What it is, what it do. Once again, we are back with Up Close and Personal with DJ NonStop. If you're just now tuning in, we have Natalie Hayes in the building giving you a exclusive interview on everything about her and all her experiences. And later on in the show, she's going to close out with a song. So be prepared for that. Now, getting back into the interview, are you a native of Columbus or are you not a native of Columbus?
Yes, as I was saying, I'm originally from Toledo, Ohio.
Okay.
Yes, I was born and raised there. I lived in Dallas, Texas for 5 years
Dallas.
prior to moving back up this way. I know I'm mud-made people, and I love my T-Town people. I wasn't coming back. So I've been here about 4.5 years.
Okay. What do you think about Columbus?
I like Columbus. It's homey enough to where I don't feel like it's so big. Dallas was so huge, and granted, home is where your heart is. But you know, it was a lot of overwhelming bits and facets to Dallas because it's so big, and you can live there however long and not know the whole city.
Very true.
But Columbus gives you that big enough feel where you have time to network with some great people and move around. So it's big enough with more opportunities, but it still gives you that home feel. And so I like it a lot.
Okay. Now, you said that you were originally from Toledo.
Yes.
Tell us about, let me make sure I'm saying it correct, the Glass City.
Right.
Right.
Everybody's mud-made now because it's of the Mud Hens, the minor league team. But so that's really like, and then E-Bunny's doing it big with the boxing. So he's making a name for himself and really putting Toledo on the map. Toledo, it is what you make it. I mean, they call it Little Detroit because Detroit's right up the road.
Exactly.
And so it's a lot of things that can keep you downtrodden in a lot of different ways. But at the same time, there's a lot of great people there, a lot of people that have awesome talent, a lot of people that have come out of there that don't really give Toledo the shout out.
Exactly.
You know, you have Katie Holmes who I used to wait on her thing.
Really?
Yeah, her and her brother.
Oh, wow.
When she went to St. Ursula. So
St. Ursula.
Right. So Katie Holmes, you have actually Alicia Keys' mom is from here. She went to the University of Toledo.
Now, I knew she was from this area.
Yeah. She graduated from the University of Toledo and then moved to New York.
Okay.
And then it's other people. I'm trying to think somebody else. Anita Baker actually has family in Toledo and is from Toledo, but she was raised by her grandmother in Detroit. So I did my homework. So it's a lot of great people. Shirley Murdoch, she's from Toledo. She always shouts out Toledo. So Life. I grew up with him.
Jennings, yes.
I didn't know Life really. I knew his brother Chester. So
Okay.
I grew up with him when I was a little girl. They're older than me, but yeah. So it's a lot of great talent. You know, people sleep on Toledo a little bit, but it's a lot of great people out of Toledo.
I used to be a performer, and I actually performed with Life Jennings at this little bar.
It's either, let me name it for you, the Peacock.
Okay.
Odina's, sorry, which is, I think we're closed for eons. Roberts, I don't know if they do live.
Man, I can't. It's been a while back. It was like right after he got unincarcerated, and he was making a kickback, and I was like in my whole career.
Okay.
But yeah, we formed there, and then he actually was doing a fundraiser for the University of Toledo, and so I was included in that as well. Okay. So it just, you never know who you know.
Nope, you never do.
That's wonderful. Now, coming from Toledo, then to Dallas, now in Columbus.
Yes.
Tell us about how that transition started and all the emotions. Because moving, quite a bit can take a toll on you.
It does, and a lot transpired it's all encompassing with the move. I mean, just being God giving us, my then husband at the time, the vision to move to Dallas without knowing anyone. We were a part of a independent ministry who they were going to be moving too, but we knew we went ahead before them.
Right.
We had a few months before them. So in 2008, we stepped out on faith and moved down there and set up shop, and we lived in North Dallas, and we still had the independent ministry, but then we knew we needed to branch out, and God led us to another ministry there, New Beginnings, with Pastor Larry Huck. So we were there, learned a lot.
Okay.
But moving back, I still would have been there, to be honest.
Okay.
I still would have been there, but my husband fell ill first in 2009. He almost died then.
Okay.
And then he got better, but then he still got worse. So when he passed away, suddenly, it was a lot. I had all kind of grief and all kind of things coming at me, family pulling at me to come back. And so they wanted me closer to home, and I knew that I wasn't really going to do too much in Toledo, and it would just keep me stuck, in a funk, So I really wanted to really keep going and try to keep pushing So I had a really good friend who convinced me to move here to Columbus.
Okay. And would you mind name dropping that friend?
Yes, her name is Keisha.
Hey, Keisha. Hey, girl.
Keisha.
How you doing? Shout out to Keisha for bringing this wonderful talent here to Columbus, Ohio. Now, we know your passions are cooking and singing and ministry. Do you have any other passions that you would like to talk about?
Yes, I mean, those are the primary things. But I mean, you know, when you're artistic, you kind of dabble in a little bit. You like fashion. 'Cause I used to really, I thought that's what I was going to do initially.
Right.
When I was in high school, I was interested in fashion merchandising, so I would always draw sketches. And I would draw the latest hairstyles for the girls. So when it comes to fashion and clothes and that type of thing, I'm really good at that too. I like to decorate a little bit, and I love art. So.
Art. Tell us about your love of art. I mean, like, do you like go to the art galleries and sit there and be like, that painting is so, you know, or do you just like, you know, you see something, you're like, you know, you're drawn to it and you're, you know, passionate about it, or do you actually, you know, do paint brushes and all that?
I don't paint or anything. I used to sketch and everything. My husband, I leave that to him solely because he's a wonderful, wonderful artist.
Wonderful.
He can draw you the way you're sitting right now. If you took a picture of us, he could draw it and it would look just like that. So he's really great. So
we might need your characterism for an event we got coming up.
Yeah, so he does a really good job. But no, I used to draw and sketch, and I could draw some things that I would look at. But I like to go to the galleries and look at great art pieces. I have a really good friend, Candace Curry. Shout out to her. Okay. She does a lot of abstract art, and so I'm just really fascinated with different abstract art. I really, really like that. Okay. So interesting. So many things and facets about you that make you who you are. Yeah.
What would you say is the defining pinpoint for Natalie Hayes?
It is my first calling is to be a psalmist and to minister through song. So I've always, and like I said, being torn, feeling like I had to choose all the time because I love to cook as much as I love to sing. But I know that that's where God uses me to share him and to minister to people who are maybe experiencing something that they don't know how to express themselves verbally or even to write it down.
Right.
But being able to emote through song, being able to not just move you emotionally, but really get to the heart and get to the soul. So that is my first
That's wonderful.
calling.
That's wonderful. Now, getting on to a more serious note, you said that you had some bouts with, you know, mental illness. Would you like to speak upon that and let the viewers know, like, a little bit into that world?
Absolutely. I've dealt with it my whole life. I didn't know, you know, when you grow up in a lot of toxic, stinking thinking, if you will, and, you know, not to, you know, really throw anyone under the bus. It's just the things I was around and surrounded around, no matter how much my mom tried to, sorry if I get emotional, no matter how much my mom tried to shield me from things that she experienced, you still, when you understand the spiritual realm of things, you still will pick up that, and children learn what they live. So nevertheless, I'm at a place now, I'm able to own what it is that I need to do about it. So I've always dealt with low self-esteem, anxiety, and severe depression. I just thought it was my normal.
Right.
And so it's very tough to talk about, but I am so elated that God has commissioned me to be able to have the strength and the courage to share with people that even though you are a Christian, even though that you walk with God, it's not a contradiction to reach out for the help that you need. And so that is why he, you know, recently compelled me, here recently, around the 24th of July, I saw online video of a girl contemplating suicide.
Okay.
And it just bolted in me, like it jolted, and it made me face my own brokenness. I've talked about it in bits and pieces with people, and some people know the down and dirty, if you will, the deepest things, but to really share it with the world, and he used her to do that. She is fine. I've spoken with her.
Right.
She's doing great. She knows what my plight is, and it's because God used her. And so we're going to be having a mental health awareness, my first annual,
Really?
on the 26th from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. at Retreat at Turnberry in Pickerington, Ohio.
That's wonderful. It's amazing how seeing other people go through something can actually help you mend yourself as well as helping them mend themselves as well. And it's just, and social media, good and the bad, it allowed you to see this young lady go through a situation that you was able to recognize, and you was able to minister to her as well. And who knows, you know, you could have changed that lady's life as well as her being able to help you work through some of your struggles. So you know, God works in mysterious ways, and some of his ways that he works through, I'm telling you, it's just a blessing.
It's thebomb.com.
Yes, he is. So before we go to break, is there anything that you would like to enlighten the viewers out here that are watching about mental illness, where to get help, you know, or just, you know, some tidbits to help them if they're actually going through something that they're going?
Absolutely. I do implore people to really, you know, granted, if you have a strong spiritual connection with your church, and maybe they have a behavioral health ministry, such as my church does, and at my church here at New Birth, they do have a behavioral health hope group that will help you with any challenges you're facing with any type of mental illness, as well as any of your local counselors or therapists that you're aware of. Ask your primary care physician for any referrals. Just don't be afraid to talk about it. Also, the NAMI organization, who I'm going to be affiliated with, I'm going to be a presenter through NAMI going forward.
Nice.
So they're working with me, and they'll have some resources available there on the 26th. So a lot of different things you need to do. School counselors, take advantage of it. Parents, please talk to your children. I'm starting with the youth because that's where it starts.
Exactly.
Please talk to your students about making sure that they get the help that they need. Suicide prevention is on the rise, and we need to make sure that we keep pushing to let people know they are enough now.
That's great. That's wonderful. And just for the viewers, one more time, can you tell them where the event is and give them all the information before we go to break?
Absolutely. It's called God Says I Can Talk About It. You can register at eventbrite.com. God Says I Can Talk About It, eventbrite.com. Please register. You can also give a donation. We have a recipient this year, Tiffany Kendrick with the D Lighthouse Family Center with her Girl Talk organization, phenomenal organization empowering our youth. It will be a retreat at Turnberry at Pickerington, Ohio from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m., August 26th.
August 26th. If you have nothing to do, then now you do. You should definitely go out to the event, support a good cause, and you'll be able to meet this young lady and, you know, just sit down, share, and who knows, maybe she might even have some of that wonderful food that she's been talking about out there. So there it is. You get a 2-for-1 right there. So we're getting ready to go into commercial break. We are here live with Natalie Hayes. When we come back, we're going to talk to her about her music and all that she plans to do with that. And then after another commercial break, we will be blessed by a song from Miss Natalie Hayes. So you are watching Up Close and Personal with DJ NonStop here on WTMH Radio and WTMH Live. We'll be back in 3.
Tired of listening to the same old radio station? Has mainstream radio let you down? Looking for more variety in your listening experience? Then look no further. Your search stops here. You've just tuned in to the hottest station on the web, WTMHradio.com. No other station can give you what you want, how you want it, with state-of-the-art studios and green screen rooms. WTMH Radio is the clear-cut choice. So don't wait another second. Tune in now and listen. Your number one choice. WTMHradio.com and WTMHgospelradio.com.
What it is, what it do. Once again, it's your boy DJ NonStop, and you are watching Up Close and Personal with DJ NonStop. If you hadn't had a chance to tune in yet, and you're just now tuning in, we have the impressive Natalie Hayes here on set with us, and she has been talking to us about everything: cooking, you know, mental illness, music, when we're going to get real deep into that here in a second. But I'm telling you what, it's been a great interview, and you know, after the show's over with, it'll be live on our Facebook page. You can go back and check that out, and it's going to be great. So now we're going to get back into the interview with Miss Natalie Hayes, and then she's going to come back and feed us with a song after that commercial. So, Natalie, tell us about the music.
Yes, as I stated, I've been singing since I was 3 years old. I mean, ever since I could grab anything to be a microphone, I always sang. Whitney Houston was one of the people. I didn't idolize anybody, but she was the one I really looked up to as far as a style, if you will. I really loved everything that she sang. So I would, you know, I have a lot of stage fright with me.
Right.
So I would be like 9 years old on my porch when I lived in Toledo and stand behind this big tree we had and sing to the top of my lungs any song that she had, and people would stop and like, who was that singing? You know,
Right.
So it was always that way for me, but I was always bashful, the insecurity, so I didn't really step out. But when I got to high school, I stepped out a little bit more. I was always in like the lead choirs and stuff like that. So it's been, I actually did when I was doing secular music, when I back in 02, 03,
Okay.
I did a EP. So
Did you?
It was pretty, it was surreal. I had a little fan base.
Uh-oh, you go, girl.
In Toledo. I was with the group called Worldwide Uncut at the time.
Uh-huh.
Shout out to Tim Woodson. So it's funny because somebody just sent me like, hey, I found your CD, and sent me
Oh,
the
wow.
songs. I'm like, oh my gosh, I've grown so much since then. But yeah, so I've been singing, you know, different events in church. You know, most of my life. I wasn't raised in church, but I always, you know, once I came and gave myself to God, I knew that that's what I was going to do.
Oh wow, that's wonderful. I want to touch on this whole EP and the group, and because I mean, coming and doing an EP, it's a lot of work.
Oh yes. All
You know,
night.
especially when you're with a group, so you have so many other personalities to contend with, and it's very interesting. How did you like being in a group and singing and entertaining on the secular side?
Yeah. Like I love music all around, but it comes time, and I want to say that because you have to make a decision on which way you want to go. It's not to denounce anyone, judge anyone, but I knew it was bigger than me, and I
Right.
would just say that. So now, granted, Tim, actually, I was more like, if you will, as far as the setup with us, it was more like the Ashanti of the group. Although I didn't sing like an Ashanti, I had more of a powerful voice.
Okay.
But they were rappers, so it was
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It gets better. It gets better.
they were rappers, so I sang and did a lot of little hooks and stuff like that.
Okay.
I had, you know, like I said, I had a few songs. Most of the songs I co-wrote with them.
Okay.
And produced, and you know, had different people do the track. So it was a phenomenal experience. I traveled, you know, a lot of locally within Ohio as well as Michigan.
Okay.
We were connected to like the Low for Life, the Low Rider guys there.
Oh, wow.
Part of us, and so we would do their shows, and so it was exciting. It was a lot of work.
A lot of work and very exciting. Wow. Who knows? I could have been at a show and you've been opening up, and
Yeah.
who knows? You know, we could have ran cross paths and the that side of the entertainment world.
Right.
So, how do you, coming from secular into gospel, how do you deal with that transition? It's a lot of people are not confused, but they are like, you know, it's a hard thing to do.
It is.
So how would you handle that?
Because a lot of people, you know, you get caught up, a lot of people are caught up in religion versus in what man says versus what God actually asks us to do. I mean, there are a lot of people that are used in the secular arena for it, and a lot of people may debate me on that, but they are. You know, I know that I want to glorify God in everything that I do at this time, you know, since the last 15 years. I mean, that's what it's been about.
Right.
And so it is a hard transition. I mean, I do believe that those people, I mean, you have like the Fantasias and even Beyonce and certain people that will, you know, really profess their Christian, like, you know, their homage to God and homage to Christ and having a relationship with Him, which is important. But I do still think you have to pick. You do have to choose. So it is a tough thing, but actually it was very abrupt. God will allow you to see where you are and where you need to be, and it's up to you to make the decision.
Very true.
So.
Very true. Now, how did you said you didn't grow up in the church?
Right.
A lot of gospel singers, they come up in the
Right.
church. So, not being in the church, how did you find your way and find the calling for gospel music?
Well, when I had my son in '97, within the next year, I dedicated my life to Christ, and it was still a back up and down roller coaster, and not really knowing if I did this or should I do that. And so, really, actually, when I knew, after I just I fell away from going to church, and I was right back doing whatever because I was so conflicted. Actually, when I was singing with the group, when I was with Worldwide Uncut, I actually had a really dear friend. He actually was very known in the community.
Okay.
He was actually, he died 2 weeks later.
Oh,
but it was before
tragic.
he died. He called me at the middle of the night. He said, "You are not supposed to do this." He was like, "Don't get me wrong, music is great. I love music, all kinds of genre like anyone else, but God wants you to do a new song." And literally some things went down and everything fell apart with me having to pull away from that situation, just like that. And he died 2 weeks later, and ever since then I knew I had to keep pushing for what God wanted me to do as far as gospel music.
That's wonderful. Once again, like I said, God works in mysterious ways. You can be headed down one path, and just one incident will take you where you need to be.
Yeah.
Now, let's talk about what you are planning to do in the gospel arena. What are your aspirations of being a gospel artist? Local, church, something that you know, are you a bathroom singer? Tell us what you plan to do.
Well, actually, I'm still as he calls it. Shout out to my brother Keith Reed. He's a worship leader, and he is over the New Sound worship team. And so I've been singing with him the last few years, since I've been in Columbus.
Okay.
So he's a contemporary style, and we've done a lot of different things. He calls me a member at large. I'm not actively in the group, but I do help out. Right now I'm doing a lot of background work. I've worked with Keith, as well as shout out to Derek Brown, Eclectic Soul Volume 2. I did some music with him. I've also worked with Sophia Darnell here. She's an awesome worshiper. I did a live recording with her last year. So a lot of it has been mostly in the background, as God's continually to allow me to see my gift full circle. I do plan when as things go forth with Sosa, my food truck, I will be working on my cookbook.
Okay.
And I will have an EP included in the cookbook.
That is very, very catching. A lot of people don't understand that you got to have a niche in the business to set yourself apart, and that I don't think I've ever heard being done. You heard it here first. Yeah, see, that's what's up. That's what's up. Now, what would you say is your favorite gospel song to sing?
I love a lot of different people. Joanne Rosario is like my favorite, and also Yolanda Adams. I would always a church I was attending in Raymond Word in Toledo, Ohio. I was coined as the light-skinned Yolanda Adams.
Okay.
So my pastor would always put me on the spot, and he would have me sing whatever, but mostly I would sing "Open My Heart" because it spoke to me, and on so many levels. So I would sing that song a lot. But her or Joanne is mostly who I really love, and I sing a lot. Okay.
So would you say that you do a lot of, when you perform, you do a lot of cover material?
Yeah, as of late, because I have some things that I'm going to be working with Keith with as far as some original things. But yeah, right now it's a lot of cover songs, and maybe, like I said, other original things by other people that I work with.
Okay. All right, that's what's up. Now, what I would like to know is, where do you plan on taking your career?
As I stated, it seems like a full facet. I mean, God has given me this platform now as far as mental health awareness, and just being able to tie it in for me as far as my testimony, because it stifled me from being able to walk out my purpose. So I do plan on, catering full-time. That's what I'm doing now.
Okay.
Catering full-time, as well as working on my other facets as far as the EP and other projects I have as far as music is concerned.
Oh, wow. You'll definitely have to keep us up to date about your EP and also the food truck. And I'm telling you, when people start seeing you handing out, cookbooks with EPs and stuff in them, that's gonna kill the game.
Yes.
And I say you go ahead and patent that idea right there, and you can make some money off of that.
Right.
Now, tell us a little bit about the personal connection with your singing. We know it's gospel, so tell us a little bit about the personal connection between your singing and your spirituality.
Absolutely. I do believe I'm a true worshiper at heart. You know, some people sing out of the fact that they have been in church their whole life. They know how to play on the emotions.
Okay.
Just being honest, I've seen it, and I was so frustrated with that. Just be able to see a lot behind the scenes stuff. Some people that really aren't in it for worshiping God, because people can see the difference.
Right.
To me, I mean, you can riff up and down the scale all you want, and I know a lot of people that do it and are phenomenal, and I love them, that are truly anointed. But then there are some people who just do it out of the fact that they're just talented.
Right.
God said gifts comes without repentance, so everybody has something.
Exactly.
And that doesn't mean that you're doing it for Him. Sometimes it's just you're doing it to boast yourself. And I'm solely sold out for just being raw and open and pure about my worship to Him. So that's where it takes me. It's not just about the emotion. It's about really, like I said, really getting to your soul and to the heart.
That's wonderful. Now, this is going to be an intense question. And I like to ask everybody who comes in and sits in the chair one tough question. And since we're in the realm of religion, what is your take on the state of the black church? Not just church in general, but the black church.
Oh, that's a fully loaded question, but I'll try to keep
Boom.
I'll try to keep it condensed.
Okay.
First of all, I have a problem with the fact, I mean, we can't deny the fact that it is black churches, white churches, whatever, Spanish churches. You know, I'm biracial. My father's Puerto Rican, my mother's black. So of course, I was growing up with my mom. So
right.
Growing up looking obviously different, always having to question what I am. And so always feeling like I never was enough, played a part in a lot of everything I've been discussing today. But just the fact that we have a black church and white church is a problem.
Right.
God calls us to be one church. So yeah, and not every non-denominational church is about the right thing.
Exactly.
But I'm really for that level of worship. That's what I'm called to. Granted, I go to a church that is predominantly black, so to speak, but it is open to whomever. The state of the black church is frustrating because, like I said, a lot of it has become this show and tell.
Yes.
And it's frustrating, and it's causing the church to be a revolving door. And I'm not there to show both. So as soon as I see that spirit, you know, your $100 lines or $50 lines, I'm sorry, y'all. It's just I've seen so much, you know. Christianity's been, you know, people mock us, and they're going to mock us anyway because they don't believe, but just
right.
give them something to talk about. I mean, you're not making it any better by doing and saying and, you know, compromising on so many areas just to be able to, you know, make sure the church is still going, or that you're popular, that you have the seat filled, or just, you know, making sure people tithe, and if they don't tithe, then they're shunned, and it's just too much emotional and spiritual manipulation. It's time out for it.
Exactly. I agree. And I have to share this story. We were, and I'm not going to name the name of the church, but we were live streaming for a church here in the Columbus area. And my associate called me and says, you have to come to the service and do the live stream. And I'm like, okay. So we get there, and without giving the church the name and everything, we get there, and they go into the service, and it is offering plate time. And my associate says, pay attention. This is where it gets good. I'm like, okay, cool. So we get up there, and you know, we're up on a pedestal, and we're you know, streaming live and everything. And so the preacher, he's like, you know, it's time for the offering. Come on in and come on and all, you know, the whole thing. Out of nowhere, this guy comes up, and he's kind of like in this lean and on the stage, and he's listening to the pastor preach and everything. And all of a sudden, I didn't know if I was still at church or if I was at the strip club, because the guy started tossing money on the pastor while the offering plates were going around. And I was looking around, and I'm like, are you serious? And he goes, I knew you would have to see this. And I was like, and what you said about being mocked and being ridiculed, it was like, okay, did this really just happen? And I tell that story because the gimmick of the church, and you see things like that, and it makes you wonder, Are they there to serve God, or are they there to entertain?
Exactly.
And that's where a lot of people, especially in the black church, gets confused. And like you said, it's a revolving door, because you come in there looking for one thing, you get a show, it's not what you want, so you leave out. And I think that, we as African Americans, and especially in the church, have got to get past the entertainment part of the service and get into the scripture and the religion of the whole purpose. So exactly.
Yeah, and exactly, George, what you're saying is that I've seen a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I don't have to name drop, and I'm not here to judge anyone, but we all are held accountable to our faith, and so our salvation. And the Bible says each man work out their own salvation. So we are all responsible. Just because I'm married, I have to walk it out, and my husband has to walk it out. We're together as a unit of the covenant, but he's responsible for his, and I got to pray about it.
Exactly.
I can't force him. So the same way with, you look at the pastors, and it starts from the head down.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you're not, if you're manipulating, and because we also have to deal in our humanness.
That's very true.
And so if they're dealing in that, and they're just solely in their flesh, how do you think the congregation is going to act? It's going to show. It's going to ooze out. And so
that is true.
We have to be able to take a stand and making sure that we're accountable to making sure we're getting fed, and they're held to a standard, and we have to make sure that we just pray, keep them covered, and
exactly.
make sure that they're about the right thing and about God's business and not their own.
Totally. Now we are sitting here with Miss Natalie Hayes. She's giving us a whirlwind conversation about art, chef. I wanted to call it a catchy phrase, chefism. I'm crowning that, chefism. And she's also talking about, her struggles with mental health and how she has overcome it and how she has helped other people overcome it as well. So would you tell us how to get a hold of you? So if people are going through anything, whether it's mental health, or they're looking to be in, the entertainment business, or they want to, just hit you up for some good home-time cooking and get to know more about your business, can you tell us where to get a hold of you at?
Absolutely. Everything is still under construction. I was nervous about doing it because I thought I needed to have everything done, and God says, trust me, so that's what I'm doing, people. But definitely you can always reach me on Facebook. I'm also on Instagram. Facebook, I'm just under Natalie Hayes. You can find me there. I'm also on Instagram under Moving Forward. You can find me there. I'm also on Twitter at Soulcified. You can find me there. And also you can send me an email. You can send me an email at thefuturemrsHayes1@gmail.com.
I like that email. It's catchy.
Yeah, that's right before we got me.
That's what's up. Once again, you're watching Up Close and Personal with DJ NonStop. We have Miss Natalie Hayes here. She's dropped a lot of information. Like I said, if you are just now coming into the broadcast and you want to know more and you want to hear it, just tune in after the show is over with on our Facebook, WTMH Live, and you will be able to catch up on the conversation. We have also other conversations from past shows that are logged on the website as well. So if you want, take a listen to those as well. Now, we're getting ready to go to commercial, but when we come back, we have a beautiful rendition of For Your Glory by Miss Natalie Hayes. So we will catch you in 3. This has been Up Close and Personal with DJ NonStop.
Tired of listening to the same old radio station? Has mainstream radio let you down? Looking for more variety in your listening experience? Then look no further. Your search stops here. You've just tuned in to the hottest station on the web, WTMHradio.com. No other station can give you what you want, how you want it, with state-of-the-art studios and green screen rooms. WTMH Radio is the clear-cut choice. So don't wait another second. Tune in now and listen. Your number one choice. WTMHradio.com and WTMHgospelradio.com.
What it is, what it do, it's your boy DJ NonStop. We are back here with Up Close and Personal with DJ NonStop. So it's been a great interview. It's been a great time here on set with Miss Natalie Hayes. And I'm just telling you, this woman is phenomenal. She has so many things going on. And I encourage you to come back and watch the interview after we finish and get the nitty and the gritty with her. Now, with no further ado from me, I am going to introduce you for a live performance to Miss Natalie Hayes. Take it away.
Lord, if I find favor in your sight, Lord, please hear my heart's cry. I'm desperately waiting to be where you are. I'll cross the hottest desert. I'll travel near or far for your glory. I will do anything just to see you, to behold you as my King. For your glory, I will do anything just to see you, to behold you as my King. Lord, if I find favor in your sight, Lord, please, Lord, please, Lord, please, hear my heart's cry. Hear my heart's cry. Desperately waiting, just to be where you are, across the hottest days, travel near or far, yeah. Travel near or far, for your glory. I will do anything just to see you, to behold you as my King. For your glory, I will do anything just to see you, to behold you as my King. For your glory, I will do anything just to see you, to behold you as my King. I wanna be where you are. Oh, I gotta be where you are. I wanna be where you are. I wanna be where you are. Gotta be where you are. Oh, I wanna be, yeah, where you are. Oh, I gotta be where you are. I wanna be where you are. I wanna be, yeah, where you are. I wanna be where you are. Gotta be where you are. I wanna be where you are. I wanna be there, yeah. Gotta be where you are. I wanna be where you are. Gotta be where you are.
All righty. That was a beautiful, beautiful song. You are phenomenal. That was, I'm telling you, I had tears in my eyes. There are people in the studio crying. Her husband sitting there going, "You go, girl!" It was great. It was beautiful, and I just want to know, will you come back and bless us with another song sometime later on in the season?
Absolutely. I would love to.
There it is. You have seen it. Once again, the most talented Natalie Hayes. We are up close and personal with DJ NonStop, and I just want to say, just tell us a little bit more again where they can find you, get a hold of you, so that people who tune in now that just saw the performance can actually get a hold of you.
Absolutely. You can shout me out and look me up at Natalie Hayes. You'll see my face on Facebook. I'm under Socified and on Twitter. I'm also under Moving Forward on Instagram, and you can shoot me an email at thefuturemrsHayes1@gmail.com.
There it is. You have it. Up close and personal, bringing you nothing but the greatest interviews from the greatest talents here locally in Columbus, Ohio. With that being said, we are out. Come back next week, and we have another special guest in the studio, and we will be revealing who that is on Monday. So check your Facebooks, your Instagrams, your Twitter, your emails. We're about to blast it. It's going to be a great time. Once again, thank you, Miss Natalie Hayes, for coming in and blessing us and giving us this inspirational conversation and song. With that being said, I'm DJ NonStop, up close and personal on WTMH Live. We're out.